Hi, and welcome to my life in currently sunny and cloudless Central Texas. Now, earlier today I had things to do, so I tried again to do a video by chunks. I don't really want to go in depth on learning all the stitching and how to make these pieces go together yet. I don't even have a good microphone yet. But it's doggy time, so I brought my water outside and I brought my camera and stand outside. That way I'm at least doing hands-free. But I had some legitimate errands and heading to the grocery store to do, so I did them. And then I was tired, so of course it was time to cook dinner. So I stood there making some really nice pork chops. Now keep in mind, you can have pork chops that are from the center of the loin or the thick cut loin chops or whatever, and not have them look at all like a T-bone or a ribeye. But I managed to find a package of, I wouldn't call them super thick, but mildly thick pork chops that I already had in the freezer. I don't buy a lot of pork anymore. I mean, bacon, yes, but that's the biggest part of what I get in pork is bacon and an occasional pork loin roast. Because when you've got an oval cross-section pork loin that's a few pounds big, you bring your knife in towards the bottom and you cut that bottom so it's a flap, and you cut almost through, and then you unroll, and then you keep cutting almost through and flap it open some more, and then you put anything you want inside. And then, because it's pork loin, you can put a bacon wrap over top. Of course, nowadays, the grocery store has them already constructed that way, and it's good. But I do have to watch the carbs, because anything you get already built at the grocery store, whether it's the grocery store's brand or some big food company, is probably not going to be the best thing for you. I'm realistic about that. What you doing, puppy dog? Yeah, it's doggy time. I looked at the other side of the house first because it's still full sun over there. But we've got some neighbors immediately behind us and off to their side, and there's little kids, too many little kids. I don't want anyone being afraid of Fuzzy Butt there. Trying to just be comfortable and keep an eye on Blondie. You're being a good boy. Now the pork chops today, besides being two of each, two that looked like ribeye, they were essentially pork ribeye, complete with the spinalis on them. that tender bit of muscle that's to the outside of the ribeye on the curving end. And the other two looked like pork T-bones with a little fillet piece and a bigger strip piece. So I cooked all four, because that's how they were packed, 2 and 2. And then Loki and I each had one of each. And I surprised myself. I pretty much ate up my pork chops, both of them. But I'm full and he's not. Now, when I was out earlier, that managed to span the hottest part of the day. I got in the car and it was almost 100. And I started video and I'm talking and everything seems to be alright. I paused it and go on to my next errand. Nothing. It didn't work out. What's the matter, puppy? What's the matter? No little friend today? Anyway, after I did the other 2 errands, then I filled up my gas tank and went to the grocery store. So now I'm broke again. Almost $300 worth of meats. Hey, buddy, come here. As long as you're walking across my lap, I get to show you to the internet. He's a good boy. He helped me eat up the pork chops. And then he worked on the bones, because apparently I don't work on them enough. What, puppy? What? You're gonna stand on my leg and put my leg to sleep while I'm trying to keep it not going to sleep. Yeah. A good day is that way. You move around enough that you feel like something's gonna go wrong. But then hopefully at the end of the day, you're a little bit tired and nothing went wrong. Welcome to getting old. It sucks and it's not for wimps. Here, puppy. Let me adjust this. It's just not fair, though. That means the whole getting old sucks and it's not for wimps thing. Why couldn't the dumb crap hurt more when you're young so you'll learn not to do it? And then you'll have less dumb crap hurting you when you get older. I'd love that. Right now, teenage grandsons, they think they will live forever. And at a similar point in my son's life, he doesn't live at my house anymore, thankfully, because we're kind of packed in as it is. But somewhere he picked up the notion that he could eat anything he wanted and everything would always be okay. And he's been finding out otherwise. You gotta take care of yourself and stay healthy. Things are buzzing around. I hope I don't get covered in mosquito bites. It's that time of year. But Blondie helped me eat pork chops. He does seem to have a taste for pork chops and chicken. More than I do. And you would almost think I buy some occasionally just to take care of him. Hi, Bubby. Would I do that? Now, it's not just about the dog when I buy pork. I got 2 racks of pork ribs. And the smoker is on the fritz, so they'll have to be cooked on the grill. Puppy. And he'll probably get a share of that too. Yeah, you can tell it's the end of the day. It's after 7:30, and those folks who were busier today are still getting home. That's okay. I'm still playing with the tiny bit of stocks I bought to learn with. And that's kind of fun because it gives me something to watch, numbers-wise. What, puppy? I mean, everybody needs hobbies. Now, it wasn't so long ago I used to follow a lot of commodities. Not every commodity, certainly. Not by a long shot. What, puppy? What you doing? But I followed enough to draw connections between political events and global weather and things people need. Like today, there was an earthquake in the Philippines. They're not expecting a tsunami. It's very nice of the weather people to let us know about a geological event. Yep, mosquitoes everywhere. Well, puppy. Yeah, I hear it. It's out the other side. Those dogs across the corner and down a little, like another house beyond that, they're the ones make the evening yapping. They see kids out playing, they want to get out and play too. It's dogs. They have a very strong emotional need to be part of the pack. Not part of my pack, which means they want to be part of that pack with the little kids out playing. Now, the dogs that are doing the whining are generally big enough that they would be good pack mates for their grandsons, but I have a small dog here. Could consider him a subwoofer. It's okay, Dyson. Mommy just teasing. He's a good dog. I said he helps me with my beef. He helps me with my steak. And my roast, and my chicken, and my turkey. And on the occasions that I eat patties of ground beef, he helps me with those. I always share with my dog. He likes my breakfast too. Bad people everywhere, huh, puppy? Now, we're in for the hottest month of the year down here. Probably. Because that's how Texas goes. And once again, we will be seeing occasions when people's vehicles burst into flames on the side of the road. And we will hear about how deadly heat can be. But don't forget, it's still hurricane season. And mosquito season. Now, yesterday when I was getting bored, because there's only so much to do when you've done 2 loads of laundry and run the dishwasher, and you're not going to eat until someone else gets home. He doesn't take offense if I do eat, but I'm just not usually hungry till evening. So I turned on Netflix and found a couple of the reboot movies for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtle Power. Yeah. And after those, I watched a Ghostbusters movie. Not from the first 3. And not the remake that was done. That they had to put every single Ghostbuster had to be female. I'm not that attached to gender, let's face it. If there were really so many ghosts that you needed a 4-man crew to just take care of your town, even a big city like New York, it most likely would not be women applying for the job. that's one of those supposed disparities in pay between males and females. It's like a lot of women won't do anything that might be dangerous, or they might break a nail, or they might not get a chance to dress pretty and attract high-paying executives to be their sugar daddies. I ran into that a lot when I was in search and rescue. A lot of women just won't do that because it's not comfortable. And there's not really a whole lot of future in it. Unless you're trying to attract the banker who owns the aircraft that's going up there flying sorties. If being a surgeon was easier, more women would do it. But let's face it, if something goes wrong and you might be on your feet for 18 hours to try to put it right because this person trusted you with their life, a lot of women don't want that. I'm not saying there aren't some great female surgeons in the world, but you're more likely to find them among the dermatologists and the dietitians. What you staring at, puppy? I see a tree. And it's not even on this side of the road. It's on the other side of the road. Is that it? Do you need a tree in our yard? Okay. Do we need to have a GoFundMe so that I can buy a piece of property that has a tree for the dog? And then the dog could water a tree all day long. I don't think that's going to be necessary. I think he's just listening and sniffing more than anything else. He can hear other dogs. He can see and hear birds. His little friend might come around. Buddy. Is that it? I don't see the little guy. He might be around back playing with those kids that are out. I love for kids to play outdoors. I'd like for them not to kick their soccer ball against the end of my house. I can have a couple of stretches with no windows. Although, on days that Loki's working from home, we have to go out and ask them not to because of his meetings and such. What, puppy? You still staring, aren't you? I don't see what there is to get excited about. I really don't. I don't see any bunny rabbits. Not a lot of squirrels this far from town. Just a little bitty tree right across there. I'm really not sure what kind of tree. The tree in my yard in Andrews had leaves like that, and it was a peach tree, but I don't think I've ever seen any fruit on this tree. It's tough to grow peaches in Texas. If there's not enough cold days, it won't blossom. If there's a late freeze, then the blossoms will fall or the early fruit will fall. And anyone who's got a chunk of property could grow. Plums grow well, even in West Texas, as long as you water them. And berries will grow if they don't just cooked to a crisp. Now, of all the berries I had at the beginning of the year, the one berry that actually lasted on the oldest plant, that berry tasted so good. And I've got some stuff inside to try to make mini plants out of this big one. And then I could raise those up to a point. Maybe I could put them in the ground. Maybe I could do it in a way that would attract wildlife. You know those zigzaggy fences where you put a row of rails and the next row kind of sits across them and up? I mean, you need this track, you can do the bottom all center, and then the next row is all across those. If I did something like that, and then put the blueberries or anything else I would like to have growing to attract wildlife into the sheltered inner corners, you know, where it's stacked, you get that corner. Put blueberries or other berries or small fruit trees into those corners. Fill up the zigzag with enough greenery and actually have it in the ground. Maybe it would attract bunny rabbits. And maybe it would also attract people who don't want to be eating chemicals on their fruit. Because I don't want to buy anything that's covered with the garbage that Bill Gates promotes. He has already admitted himself to be in favor of population reduction. And when he came out for that, I believe he also mentioned using vaccines to be part of it. I just don't honestly think we can trust the guy. He owns a lot of farmland. He's holding on to it to stop anyone from using it to raise meat. If we eat meat, we'll be strong and healthy. So he pushes fake meat and he sprays crap all over the fruits and vegetables. Eventually, you just have to decide where your loyalties lie. Do you side with the human race and keeping your family strong? Or do you side with people who have a lot of money and don't give a damn about anybody? And have you looked at his pictures from the last 5 years, 10 years? He ain't looking good. all the doctors that encourage carnivore are looking fit and strong and healthy. And quite a number, Dr. Kiltz, Mitch had him on today because they're both at KetoCon Orlando or something. Some KetoCon that's happening in Texas. And apparently there's a good strong contingent of carnivores there. And old guy Mitch, I love him. He's a sweetheart. He really is. He sometimes loses his temper a little bit and rants about the people who write him nastygrams and tell him what he's gonna die of next. Because, oh, you're eating too much meat. You're gonna die of a heart attack. You're gonna die of scurvy. Your colon's gonna rot with the red meat that's in it. Newsflash, meat doesn't make it to your colon. It liquefies in that puddle of acid inside your stomach, and your body prioritizes what it can uptake from the meat by having the first length of the small intestine that this liquid puddle of protein goes to. Your iron and a lot of other things, the uptake happens in that first little stretch of the small intestine. And as it continues to move, it uptakes everything else it can from that meat. Whichever nutrient it is that is the reason you want to leave the skin on the chicken, that happens way up there in that stretch too. And then by the time this puddle of protein goo gets to your large intestine, there's this little tiny valve, almost a valve, sort of a flap. Everything goes through there. So we have a ridiculously tiny cecum. We're not meant to ferment endless logs of fiber in all the things that toddlers spit out over time. All the broccoli, all the asparagus, all that stuff. They have to keep adapting that to make it taste better just to get anyone to eat it in the first place. Oh, there's a strange little dog in the yard. Hi there, little guy. Or little girl, as the case may be. Oh, going off that way. Dyson! 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 I have to go get somebody. There we go. He rarely goes skittering off the front steps like that. Come on, buddy. If that doggie isn't going to stay to play, you don't go looking for him. I still love you. There you go. What a good boy. Nope, nope. Wing, convention tail. Big skier. Nothing special. And a smooth sounding engine. Are you being my good boy? You're my good boy. You're being my good boy. Nope. You're getting beyond beyond the realms of good boy now. You're being in the nope nope realm. End of the walk, buddy. Turn around, come back. I keep turning him around and he pees on a truck tire. Pretends he's gonna be good. Then he gets back to the walk and goes back to the end of the walk. Come on. Come on, buddy. Maybe that one will play with you another time. You're a sweet doggy. Come on. I'm sorry they took off like that. It's hard to play with somebody when they just take off like that. Yep. That's what he was waiting on. Some other dog come along. Too bad it wasn't your little friend. Your little friend's not afraid of me, but I think this little one that came by now. Little white, short-haired chihuahua did not stay to play. Dude, I think it's time to go in. I'm getting too many mosquito bites. I am. Too many. They're biting me all up. But as long as I still have this thing open, I will say I got another order from Sorrel today. Because yay, Stem Enhanced Ultra. My left knee is doing really well. I'm hoping the effects will spread. My right knee might heal some more. And my brain, a little bit. Brains are really super slow. But if that's where I'm sending out signals to my... If that's the part of my body that is sending out signals for stem cells to come do their work, I'm okay with that. That's cool. It's time to go in, buddy. Anyway, whether you use Sorrel products or not, whether you take aspirin or plasma flow, keep in mind the recent warnings from the medical professions, from surgeons and everybody, that aspirin every day is not the way to go. If you take an aspirin every day, you could wind up being the person that they have trouble saving in surgery when something goes wrong and they can't stop the bleeding. There might be no record anywhere. No member of your family might know that you've been taking aspirin. Or it just might be one of those things they've forgotten. But that messes with your ability to stop bleeding when you need to stop bleeding. I take an aspirin sometimes. If you're going to be sitting all day with no chance to get up in an aircraft, or you're going to be traveling and you're going to be sitting in a train or a ferry boat or whatever, most of the day, that's a good day for an aspirin. Every day is a good day for plasma flow. Helps kick those, helps you make the enzyme that dissolves the fibrin deposits. If I understand the science correctly. The Stem Enhance Ultra helps you nourish the bone marrow beds where you're producing the stem cells that you want to have, and helps you release them so that they can float around working stem cell magic in your body. It's not magic, it's what you're designed for. Plasma flow reduces the fibrin deposits so that all the stem cells can get where they're going. And the Smurf juice, I'm sorry, the Collagen Active gives you the collagen you need so that your old joints don't feel as old anymore. Oh, there's a wasp bouncing around on the pickup right near that. Well, he was bouncing around by the driver's side door near that web that I keep hoping will catch wasps. We're gonna go in, buddy. So eat something healthy, because even if you decide you can't afford to look at things that are $60 for a 1 month supply of just one thing. And I wish everybody could get some, because it's done me that much good. But also, if we can bring their production up, their prices could potentially come down, maybe. That's how industries work. Make the business successful so that they can make more, so that we can get more of their product at maybe a lower price. And they've got tensor serums for, tighten up those eye bags, and beauty products. Because if you're going to look younger, you might as well look like a good version of younger. So do what you can to feel better, whether it's your diet or it's what you add on after your diet. And if feeling better means you can get to the point that you no longer have to take something, it's okay, buddy. Maybe you no longer have to take something that gives you side effects that require the 2 or 3 other medications to handle the side effects. That feels better. It really does. But do what you can to feel better. Do what you can to make your life be what it needs to be. Eat something that's good for you. Try to get really good rest. Now at this point, I'm not seeing more sun anywhere, which means it's really getting down to the eastern horizon now. I keep hoping I'll see some shooting stars, but most nights we go to bed kind of early. Going to bed early is not a problem. Especially when you've been out doing stuff in the heat. But it's muggy and it's humid and it's perfectly clear. I really would like to see some shooting stars. I might stay up a little bit and try. Or I might not. There's still a couple weeks left of that. Or a few weeks left of that, I'm not sure. Yeah, buddy, I know, I hear them. There's doggies doing doggy stuff somewhere. But we're going in. So y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Do what's right and try to do what's good. Love you. Bye-bye.